briefly go through how we create the sermon video that we are presently using for the Faith and Work series. This will also apply if you're using, you're doing an event, whether it be Apex, Chapel, Youth, and the person's doing a sermon. So first of all, generally sermons come in through the mail. So in this case, it came in, I forwarded it on actually. So this is last Sunday. So what we do with sermons is we go to the sermon folder, and every week we just create a new folder. In this case I did. And then we drag the PowerPoint into the folder. In this case we'll just say keep both for the sake of it. Then you go into the file, into ProPresenter, and in this case there was a mistake. So what you want to do is just have a quick run through and check that everything is formatted as it's meant to be. Sometimes you can have mistakes. On this one there was. So you can just hit save again, and then you want to export it. And you want to export it as JPEGs, and you want to include every slide. So once you've exported it, you can close down everything. Just while we're in here, we also, this is where we get our announcements. So if we get a new announcement, you just go into the mail folder, you go down to announcements, and you just drag it into the new folder. And in this case I won't keep both. So stop, and then you drag it from the announcements folder into announcements. Just drag it in after the first one, because then it'll remember the look from the first one. So just going back to the sermons, the next step then is create a new presentation. Let's just call it Faith and Work 2. Change it to sermons, create a new presentation, drag it up into Sunday. So it's here, and so then you can open Finder again, go down to sermons, go to the date, and then simply all you have to do is Control A and drag them all in. And like before, just delete the first one, and at the moment you can just drag on sermons and it will work fully through for your sermon. Some pastors will use a clicker, some you will have to listen along and change as they speak. So that's how you bring in a sermon. There is a more detailed video on the page as well, which will go through what happens when we go back to using lower third sermons. But for the moment, we're just using this full screen sermon process, so it's nice and simple, and that's how you go about doing it. If you're doing a sermon for one of the other ministries, you can just use the exact same method and it'll bring it in quite simply.